This is going to be a review. I've done something at Kentucky Speedway I've wanted to do for a long time, and I rented one of the fan visions. Now, that's the only race we go to for the year, so I can't justify buying one. It's also $20. I talked to one of the guys at the campground who owns one. Every time you go to a race, you have to pay him $20 to program it for that race. Now, some things I liked about it: being able to follow the lap times, being able to know if somebody was a lap down. For instance, when the caution come out, Dale Jr. had already pitted. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had already pitted. I'm thinking wave around, but with real-time scoring, I could look and see he was still on the lead lap and would be able to have good track position on the restart. Good run, fifth place finish, but that was good things. Being able to track lap times late in the run, for instance, late in the race, comparing lap times as Brad Keselowski was catching Kyle Busch. I'm not a fan of neither one of them, but just interesting to see the lap times. So that's nice. Now, what I don't like about it, and understand, I'm a fan of Speedway Motorsports tracks, Bruton Smith tracks. They have better facilities than the um, International Speedway Corporation slash NASCAR France family tracks. I've always said they've had better facilities. I've been Daytona, Talladega, Darlington of the International Speedway Corporation tracks. I've been in Richmond. I have been to Kentucky, Atlanta, Bristol, Charlotte of Bruton Smith's tracks, or the Speedway Motorsports Incorporated tracks. But now what I don't like I said, I'm a fan of Bruton's tracks. I am not a fan of Bruton's radio network that I like to never. It comes programmed with the broadcast to radio broadcast of the race. I might have left it on if it had been MRN, but I prefer to listen to Earnhardt Jr. on the scanner most of the race. So that once I got that out, I was doing. Now another dislike. This was only a 400-mile race, and I had 3 scanners in use all 3 days. I put new batteries in them before we went up there for the Thursday truck race. They all come back with the same batteries in them, still working fine. But during the 400-mile race, I had to change in the fan vision. I had to change. They give you an extra battery pack. I had to change the battery. Now, the mistake I made, I should have run it for the weekend. I think, and I'll look this up and put it in the description if I can. But does that mean if you went to the 600 at Charlotte, you would need 3 batteries? Just curious on that one. But if you've never done it, I don't think I'll do it again. If I do it again, I'll do it for the whole weekend when we go up there next year. I can't justify buying one, only going to one race weekend a year like that. If them things been around back in early 2000s when we were going from 4 to 6 races a year, yeah, I might have bought one, but not for one race weekend a year. But if you've never done it, try it one time. It's interesting. But I don't like. I did talk to one of the guys at the campground that owns one, and every race he has to go to the trailer and pay them $20 to program it. Now they do require a credit card for a $300 deposit in case of damage or loss, which I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, if you've never tried it, go ahead and try it one time. It's worth it. You get the video. You can actually, although they have the big screens at Kentucky, if there's a, for instance, Jeff Gordon's air hose on pit stop, it was kind of hard to see on the big screen, but when they replayed it on the fan vision, you could see it pretty well. Also, when cars were wrecked, you could look at it and see they had dropped the window nets and they were all right. That's a good thing. You know, you could. But it's just my opinion of it for what it's worth.